Hey teachers, welcome to the Teachers Support Network podcast, where we help teachers create collaborative, inclusive classrooms while taking care of your own well-being in the process. So, who really likes finding ways to better manage and maximize your time during the school day? I hope all of you have your hands up, because I think time is such an important commodity that we don't have a lot of during the school day. Well, today we're going to be talking about a game-changing time management hack called the Pomodoro Method. Have you ever heard of it? So whether you're drowning in lesson planning, grading, or IEPs, writing IEPs, this technique can really help you get more done in less time without burning out in the process. And it's something you can start doing today. So let's dive right in and let's get right to it. So what is the Pomodoro Method? Well, it was developed in the 1980s by Francesco Cirillo, and it's super simple. I mean, basically, you work in 25-minute focus blocks, followed by a 5-minute break. So I'll say it again. You're working 25-minute focus blocks, and it's followed by a 5-minute break. And then after about 4 of those Pomodoros, or like those focus sessions that you have, you just take a longer break, and that might be about 15, 20, 30 minutes, just because you've been doing so many intervals of Pomodoros. And it works because our brains can't really focus endlessly without just getting tired and getting drained. So by breaking work into smaller sprints and shorter sprints, we can stay more focused, prevent that crash and that burnout of doing work, and actually get more done because of those breaks in those short bursts of sprints of focused work. And this technique can work in many different areas of life, but I'm going to talk about how teachers can use this method to be more productive during a teaching day. So here are some ways that both Gen Ed and SPED teachers can use the Pomodoro Method in the classroom. So first, let's think about how it can help maximize your time for lesson planning. Lesson planning is something that we all have to do, but sometimes it could take a lot of time to do, and it can be draining at times. It can be fun, but it can be draining at times as well. So if you're struggling to get through lesson planning, here are some ways that you may use the Pomodoro technique to help you get through that in a more focused and productive way. So think about, let's say you use the Pomodoro Method, and that first Pomodoro time session interval, you may, in thinking about lesson planning, you might brainstorm and research how you want to teach a certain lesson, or even think about the whole unit. And you work in 25 minutes, and then you take a 5-minute break. And then you can continue that. Another Pomodoro session, you might plan out the details for the lesson itself. The I do, we do, you do parts of the lesson. And then take another break, another 5-minute break. You might do a third session. And in this part, you might think about creating informal assessments for a lesson, or even a formal assessment for a whole unit. So this part, you might be just focusing purely on the assessment piece. And then you might have another Pomodoro session or interval where you can be creating or compiling all the materials and the worksheets and the resources you may need for teaching the lesson. So the whole point is you're getting through the lesson planning, but you're doing it in focused chunks of time and giving yourself a 5-minute break in between. And that's what's going to really help you stay a little more productive and make the process a lot more enjoyable at the same time. So a second way we can use the Pomodoro Method is for grading student work in a Gen Ed class, or doing progress reports for students with IEPs if you're a SPED teacher. So instead of staying at a mountain of papers, how about you set a timer for 25 minutes, grade papers or work through those progress reports as much as you can, then take a 5-minute break. Then sit back down, maybe do another session for 25 minutes of grading papers, working through progress reports, and then take another 5-minute break. By doing this, you'll get through it as much as you can, and you'll feel you can get through it a lot faster without feeling as drained. And the same goes with if you're working, if you're a SPED teacher and you're working through an IEP. You can use the Pomodoro Method to work through the whole IEP, or you could break it up into sections and work through specific areas of the IEP. For instance, you might work on just the present levels for a chunk of 25 minutes and take a 5-minute break and then get back to it. Or you might just work on the annual goals section for 25 minutes and then take a break. Because sometimes it takes a while to get through those pieces, and it's a lot of mind work and brain work that you're using. But doing it in focused sessions for 25 minutes and then taking a 5-minute break in between can really help. And finally, what about those other important tasks teachers have? We have that take up so much of our time, like checking and responding to emails throughout the day and making phone calls to parents and other key people. So what if you blocked off some time and focused on one of those activities for a Pomodoro session, and then took a break and then moved on to another focused task? So how that might look, well, let's say for 25 minutes, you set a timer and you respond to emails. And then after the 25 minutes, you take a 5-minute break, and then you can do another session of that. Or at another time, you could return phone calls for 25 minutes to parents and other key people, and then take a break and decompress for 5 minutes. Here's the thing. You get to decide how you're going to use the Pomodoro technique for all the tasks and responsibilities you have. Just start using it and see if it makes a difference in your productivity throughout the day and getting stuff done. Because a lot of times we go back from task to task to task, and we don't stay focused, and we don't give ourselves breaks. And this Pomodoro technique, this Pomodoro method, is a way to actually focus our attention on the things at hand. And then built in is having a brain break that can really help us. So, what are the best kind of Pomodoro timers and tools to use that are out there? There are tons of them out there. There's physical timers that show time visually. There's different apps you can use on your phone. I use phone apps a lot of times for it. You can do a Google search and look in for an app in your app store on your phone, and it can really help. So I'm not going to get specific things, but there are plenty of things out there, and just choose the one that works best for you. But here's one free way to use the Pomodoro method that I use a lot on, and I want to share it with you because it's something you can use right away. And what I do is I go to YouTube. And I do a search, and in the YouTube search, I'll type in Pomodoro 25/5, right? Meaning I want 25 minutes of focus work and then 5 minutes of break, right? So like I said, Pomodoro 25/5. And you will get tons of videos that use the method. And many have great visuals in the background, like nature, like, the beach or mountains or lakes, or even if you want to be in a coffee shop or a library. You get to choose what you want and choose a background, an environment that really helps you kind of work best. But they're all out there already, and there's so many different versions of them that I think that you can find something that works for you. I often choose one background setting that feels right at the moment based on my mood. Because sometimes I have different moods. So sometimes I want to be in a coffee shop. Sometimes I might want to be on the beach. You know what I mean? But either way, I choose one and I place that visual timer on my second work screen. So sometimes I have two screens. I have like a laptop and I have a bigger screen. And so I will put it on one screen while I do my actual focus work on the other screen. And that way I can kind of look, I can see the time, and it'll trigger me to, when it's time to take a break as well. So that's something that you can really try, a hack that you can try right now, and see if something comes up for you that you like. So give it a try. Like I said, see what comes up and just have fun with it. Because we got to get stuff done. So we might as well do the best we can to maximize our time and stay focused in the process. So to all the teachers and educators that are listening right now, try the Pomodoro method for 1 week. Set a timer, work in focus blocks, and see how much you can accomplish. And don't forget to take those 5-minute breaks. Get up, take a stretch, do some, movement. Just don't get back to work. Those 5-minute breaks are built in there for a reason. And that's what really makes the Pomodoro method and technique so effective. So, Share your experience with me, your experiences with me using the Pomodoro Method in the comments section on the show notes page of this episode, and let me know how it works for you. So really, that's it for now. Thanks for listening to this episode. If you found this episode helpful, please be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a fellow educator and teacher. And also be sure to subscribe to my newsletter under the resource section on the show notes page as well. That way I can keep you updated on what's going on in the teacher support network community. Because this is growing. It's a growing community, and I want to keep you updated on some of the things that are going to be coming up soon and in the future. So that's it for now. Until next time, I hope you get more done in your available time. Stay focused and use the Pomodoro Method and see what it does for you. Okay? Have a great week. Bye for now.